Hey, how's it going, everyone? My name is Derek Afasi. I'm the owner of Afasi Financial Group and RetireSharp.com. Today's topic I want to discuss with you guys investing in annuities, and when someone might make that mistake of looking at annuities as primarily an investment, and kind of show you when annuities are necessary with a specific situation, and then when many times they're not, and really just go through the pros and cons of everything. Um, Now, basically what happens is an individual might be meeting with a type of insurance agent, and that individual and that agent keeps pitching them a type of annuity and might be talking about their different growth factors and saying, oh, okay, you're going to have this safety, you're going to have these great rates of return, and you're also going to have a guaranteed income, and all this whole slew of different things. And the problem that lies there is each annuity contract is different, and they each serve a purpose, a different purpose. What I mean by that is typically an annuity contract is really good if you're focusing on income, okay? Meaning that if you go and you say, I want to retire in a couple of years, and I have different retirement savings, whether that's in cash accounts, whether that's in old retirement accounts, such as like 401ks, IRAs, Roth accounts, whatever that might be, and you understand kind of what your budget is for those next couple of years, what you really have to receive on an income basis, well, you could leverage an annuity contract to provide you this guaranteed lifetime income at that specific point in time. So, as an example, let's say if somebody's 62 years old, they want to retire at age 66, correlate that to, when they're triggering Social Security income, they have these different buckets, kind of think of them as buckets, as little retirement buckets there, and they're kind of at this question mark stage of saying, okay, I know when I want to retire. I know how much I need to retire on, how much income I need coming to me every single month to correlate to my expenses, but I just don't know how to pull out withdrawals properly, from these accounts. And I've heard these horror stories that if I pull out too much, or if I basically take too much risk, that I run that risk of outliving my monies. I have that longevity risk and that inflation risk that could really, hinder my accounts and leave me SOL when I'm in my 80s, when, I'm not going to be working anymore. So this is when annuities can work really, really well. Is an individual could leverage these types of accounts, a portion of these accounts, very, very important to understand, a portion of these accounts, and only as much as necessary that will accomplish what your income goal is. So what I mean by that is, let's say if this person's 62 years old right now, they have a goal of receiving $50,000 of income every single year, and they want to retire at age 66. Well, maybe they're going to be receiving Social Security income of $30,000 and they don't have any pension plans. So they don't have any other income sources, any guaranteed income sources. So they're saying, okay, well, I have these different accounts. Maybe I have cash of, 100,000. I have a 401k account that's sitting there at 400,000. I have another IRA that's sitting there, another 300,000. How exactly can I suffice this gap of $20,000 properly without any worry, without with confidence? And that's when you could leverage different annuities, and especially after 2008, I recommend the annuities with income riders because it allows you to still have control of your account, still have consistent growth into your account, and then leverage the income rider for your guaranteed lifetime income, as opposed to old-fashioned annuities where you were susceptible to your annuitization and surrendering all your money to those insurance companies that were offering those annuity contracts. So in this example, let's say if they have all these different portions of assets, and they decide, okay, I want to really target in on my 401k and use my 401k monies to leverage for that retirement goal. Well, we understand that the gap is 20,000. You're going to be receiving 30,000 at age 66. You have a gap of 20,000. So therefore, your annuity problem can be solved with trying to figure out what would be the best contract for an individual age 62 looking for a 4-year deferral that needs to trigger $20,000 of income. So out of these monies, you could use a couple of these accounts, or it might only take one account to do so. Let's say if we're using the 401k account as an example, maybe it's going to require $300,000 to be placed into an annuity contract that will trigger lifetime income at that point in time in those 4 years. So what we did right there was we solved the income goal. Most important thing in retirement is making sure that you have sufficient amounts of income coming to you on a guaranteed lifetime income basis. Guaranteed lifetime income meaning either on you, you and your spouse, whatever would apply to your specific situation. So in this scenario, this individual had $800,000 of retirement assets. And what we're saying is if you leverage 300,000, and this is just a hypothetical example, this $300,000 with the best contract will provide $20,000 of income for the rest of this person's life, for the rest of this person's situation. With that being said, now they have, because they only leveraged 300,000 out of their 800, now they have emergency funds, sufficient amounts of emergency funds. They have $500,000 that they could now leverage, take a portion of that, use, and rule of thumb is about 6 to 12 months of whatever your expenses are in a given year. So let's just call it, 50,000, or let's just say 100,000 could be placed into emergency funds, meaning very liquid cash, something in, whether that's checking, savings, money market accounts, whatever the case may be. In case there's ever an emergency, they could dip into these monies. And then out of that situation, now you have $400,000 that you could invest it. And this is where the inflationary goal comes in. You can either try to grow these monies and take on that risk of, market risk, of volatility, of inflation risk, trying to really have significant growth because you're not trying to pull out monies. That's what this annuity income was for. That's why you designated any specific portion into annuity contract. Now, the mistake that's made, let me clear up this. The mistake that's made time and time again is you have insurance agents that are selling annuities, and what they try to do is tell you, oh, if you want growth, we could throw you into an annuity. You want great growth, we'll put you in a variable annuity. If you want great income, we're going to throw you into an immediate annuity, or an annuity could solve that. If you want to have deferred income, we could throw you all into an annuity, a deferred annuity, an immediate annuity, whatever that case may be. And what happens is you have these situations where an agent will go to the client and explain to them why it's necessary to take their full nest egg and throw that into an annuity contract. And annuities are like an individual tool in a tool belt. You don't want to use the back of a screwdriver to hammer in a nail. You want to use the best tool to hammer in that nail. You want to use the hammer. And it will it'll make that process a lot easier, a lot more efficient. That's the way you have to look at annuities. Annuities are used for income and for safety. So the situation I just spoke about before was saying whatever this individual's assets are, what's the smallest amount of dollars of that assets that you could place to make sure that your income sources are covered? Let's say if you go into a situation where somebody already has their income sources covered. Somebody's receiving Social Security income, they're receiving pension income, and let's say their goal was $30,000. That's how much they need for expenses, and they're receiving $40,000 of income from just these two sources. Well, then you don't have to place them into an annuity contract for income. You can leverage annuity contracts for safety, meaning like if you understand current bank CDs are paying 1% and you like 5-year bank CDs, well, you could leverage the benefits and the safety of fixed annuity contracts that would be paying 3% for a 5-year for a 5-year contract. So you could leverage that very safe fixed accounts, or you could leverage something known as indexing or index annuities to receive gains when the market goes up, not lose when the markets go down. If you're trying to go with a safe, consistent goal, then typically the best recommendation is to not leverage riders, not leverage income riders, not leverage death benefit riders onto those contracts. Because anytime that you're adding on additional things to these annuity contracts, it's going to come with a cost. If you're trying to get safe, consistent growth with no fees, no downward market losses, no mutual fund related fees, no advisor fees, anything like that, well, then go more on that fixed realm. Don't look at it as an investment of saying, okay, well, I'm going to go and throw my dollars into a variable annuity, and because it has mutual funds and it gives me income and it gives me death benefit, well, that's where you have significant amount of costs that just keep adding up and adding up and adding up. And one of the most important aspects regarding the difference between like a variable annuity with an income rider versus a fixed index annuity with an income rider, and this has probably been for the past 8 years, I have never found the best fixed index annuity with an income rider to lose to the best variable annuity with the income rider. Now I'm talking about a guaranteed lifetime income play. So let's say if you're looking for, you looked before at, let's use a year of 2012, October of 2012. You take the best fixed index annuity with an income rider and you say, okay, what's my guaranteed lifetime income payout? That has lost time and time again to the best fixed index annuity with an income rider. You now scale towards February of 2017 when I'm filming this video. The best variable annuity with an income rider loses drastically to the best fixed index annuity with an income rider when you're looking for guaranteed lifetime income. So that example that I just showed you, if we're trying to figure out what's the smallest amount of dollars that we could place into an annuity contract to receive that $20,000 of income, the income riders are definitely necessary because it's allow you to still have control of your accounts, allow you to still leverage the insurance companies to receive lifetime income. God forbid if you pass away, your beneficiaries will still receive whatever's remaining in your account value. So that's the benefits of using an income rider as opposed to just using annuitization, a large benefit as opposed to using annuitization. And then when you're scaling through the top contracts out there, for an income play, the FIA is going to beat out the variable annuity every single time. Now, for a growth play, understand you have higher growth potential because fixed index annuities have cap rates, they have participation rates, they have spread rates. This one gives you more of that safety, peace of mind. Variable annuities are tied to mutual funds and other variable annuity charges, variable annuity costs that could really hinder that account value or that account performance. If the market goes down, your variable annuity account value is going to go down with it, depending upon how large of a hit the market did take. So when you're looking primarily as an investment, I say you could leverage, if you're looking at a safe, consistent growth goal, go more towards that fixed route, more towards that fixed index route. If you're looking for a pure investment route, I would not recommend a variable annuity. I recommend that if you're looking for an investment, go with an investment. If you're looking for something that has uncapped rate of return, but then could also have uncapped losses, well, then go into actively managed portfolios. Utilize different mutual funds, stocks, bonds, ETFs, all of that. Yes, you're going to fall victim to reverse dollar cost averaging. Don't leverage that off of what you need as your guaranteed income sources. But if you're trying to beat out the pace of inflation and you're not trying to pull from those accounts, why would you try to restrict your money and get hit with many, many fees? Much higher fees than what typical variable accounts, investment accounts would allow you to have by just saying, oh, well, you know, my insurance agent seemed like a really nice guy and he was telling me about all these different features. Yeah, you have to really read between the lines, though. If you're looking for the best income product, I would not recommend an investment type annuity. If you're looking for a safe, consistent growth product, I would not recommend an investment type annuity. If you're looking for an investment, then get set up with an investment. Get set up with something that has much lower negatives as opposed to going with something that will constantly hinder your account the longer and longer that you're in there. And this is where you hear retirement disasters. You hear retirement disasters with all over the place, obviously, because you have over 1,200, 1,300 different contracts when you're looking at annuities. Out of these contracts, you might have a handful, 10 to 20 that are very good for an individual situation, but then you have over 1,200 that are horrible for an individual situation. So the odds are those individuals are going to go into that bad situation if they're not dealing with independent agencies, if they're only dealing with agents and advisors that are not familiarized with the extravagant pros and cons of these types of contracts. There's ways on how you can leverage annuities for a great solution, but it's not a one-size-fits-all solution. You have to make sure that it's going to suit your individual situation. So I really hope I made my point with that. And, that's basically what we do is we try to educate you guys first and foremost. We have a 1-800 number available to you 24 hours a day, 7 days a week. 1-800-566-1002. We deal on a national basis. So when calling in, what you can expect is you'll deal with an assistant. You'll tell them your situation. They're going to patch you over to a specialist. That specialist is going to ask you a slew of questions and find out the 30,000-foot view of, what's your situation, what are your goals, what do you want to accomplish. Out of that, can you accomplish your goals by doing what you've been doing, for the last couple of years? Is kind of your ideas going to suit you and really get you to that finish line successfully? If so, well, then we're going to tell you, don't change a thing. You'll get there fine. You're completely, and we'll give you some free educational pieces, free literature, and be on your way. Now, many times individuals have gaps. It's because they're not financial advisors. The average individual is just trying to go to work, get paid, save their money, and hope that their retirement's going to be there. So what we like to do is instruct individuals that your plan could look like a perfect puzzle piece. And you just have to make sure that you're putting the right shapes in place, that you're leveraging your assets the proper way for pure confidence. And when you're looking at the 30,000 foot view and you're not getting caught up in the bells and whistles of a premium bonus or an income rider, 8% roll up or whatever the case may be, those are different marketing ploys that a lot of insurance companies try to dupe individuals into, and that's when you see retirement disaster. So you want to be educated first and foremost. Annuities are great tools to use for the correct situation, and they're horrible tools to use for for a bad situation. So I hope that all of that made sense. At any point in time, give us a call. We're A+ rated on the Better Business Bureau. We've always had very good reviews. We've never had any complaints, and I believe it's because of our methodical process and because of our education. I want to thank you very much for watching this video. I want to thank you very much for subscribing to the YouTube channel. At any point in time, you could visit our website, retiresharp.com, or subscribe so you have access to the most updated videos to Retire Sharp off of YouTube. So thank you so much, guys. I look forward to speaking with you soon.